This is Monkey World in Dorset, the largest ape and monkey rescue centre on the planet. Today on Monkey Life. Orangutan youngster Hsiao-Ning goes crazy on too much sugary fruit. But little chimp Eddie will be lucky if she gets her hands on any treats at all. And animal manager Jeremy prepares to take a huge risk to help adult male chimpanzee Jimmy.
I reckon I can go in with him.
Monkey World is home to 15 different species of apes and monkeys. With this many primates, medical emergencies are inevitable. 23-year-old Jimmy has a nasty leg infection, and no one knows what caused it. The keepers try to clean it every day, but it's not easy through the mesh.
Jim leg. Jim leg.
So animal manager Jeremy has a plan.
Hello, Jim leg. Yeah, what I'm trying to do is to try and, move on so that he'll let me have his leg so I can bathe it better than through the mesh.
It's very difficult to give treatment to wild animals. Male chimpanzees are up to 6 times stronger than an adult man. Jimmy could cause Jeremy serious harm. The door has been opened just a few inches, enough for Jeremy and Jimmy to make physical contact. But the staff are on standby as Jimmy could decide to push the door open further and the situation could become very dangerous.
See your leg. Give me your leg. No, that's your good arm. I want your bad leg. I want your bad leg. Yes, I do.
Jimmy and Jeremy need to earn each other's trust, and grooming is the perfect way to do this.
If I let him groom me, then ideally he'll let me groom him. And if I can do everything so it isn't hurting him, then that's a good way of getting access to his leg so that I can actually put stuff on it.
All animals are good at hiding pain. This protects them from showing weakness to others, so no one knows how much pain Jimmy might be in. His medication will help any discomfort, but if the wound itself doesn't begin to heal, the exposed bone will dry and he could lose his leg. Jeremy and the staff are doing everything they can to help.
The thing is, me and Jimmy go back a long way. He was a part of the original A-team, if you like, the first chimps. I've known Jimmy for 20 years. The more we can help him, the better the chances are we can save the leg. What do you want? You want that? Did that go up your nose? Did those bubbles go up your nose?
It's important that Jeremy can see the wound close up to see if it's responding to the treatment. Cleaning Jimmy's leg is a daily routine, but Jeremy tries to make it fun. And now Jimmy has even started to copy him.
I gave him one of these yesterday and he actually dabbed his own leg with it, but with nothing on it, just with an empty swab. See? Yeah, they're good. See? He dabs his own leg with it. If you want to do it yourself, that's fine with me. I'm going to try anything here. I'm renowned for it. You'd be bound to be cautious about letting somebody touch something that hurts, so I've just got to convince him that it doesn't hurt. And this is a reasonable request to let me pick your scab and dab you with iodine and all that sort of stuff.
Later, the team feared Jimmy's infection could be getting worse, so Jeremy must get a swab from it. But this means the door between them is going to have to be opened even further.
He knows I want that swab, so he's not playing.
And in the Orang nursery, Hsiao-Ning shows she's boss when it comes to getting hold of the treats. This morning in Paddy's chimp group, there's an air of excitement. Breakfast is on its way, and it's coming pre-packed. The yogurts and wheat snacks are healthy, and the packets that they come in are challenging and interesting. This breakfast is a special treat, and Paddy knows it. He takes advantage of his position as top chimp to grab as much as he can, as quickly as he can. Chimpanzees live in a strict hierarchy. Those at the top get the most, those at the bottom, the least. And there's one small chimp who's determined not to be at the bottom. Running as fast as her legs will carry her, here comes Eddie. In the wild, it's natural for youngsters to beg for food from adults. And as the youngest of the group, Eddie's a begging professional. Her first target, Cindy. And poor low-ranking Mickey isn't having any luck at all. Hebe is also one of the youngsters of the group and having some of the same difficulties as Eddie. Meanwhile, Eddie's busy targeting the soft touches in the group. Next up, Beth. But Beth's a tougher prospect than Eddie thought. She's not getting anywhere with her. Hebe's landed herself a banana. She'd better eat up before someone takes it off her. Eddie's struck out twice, and she's not used to failure. It's time to get serious, so she targets Zoe. And the tactic pays off. At 24, Zoe is a mature lady, and these days she likes an easy life, even if that means giving up some of her goodies. Eddie's no fool. If no one else is falling for her techniques, she can always rely on Zoe. And now she's struck lucky, she's not about to share with anybody. Back in the chimpanzee bedrooms, animal manager Jeremy has returned to see Jimmy. He needs to get a swab from Jimmy's infected leg for analysis. Today, the adult male will just not let the keepers near his wound for treatment, and they're concerned that the infection may get worse. So far, the door between them has only been slightly open, but now it will be opened fully. It's nerve-wracking, as now there will be no barriers between the pair.
I reckon I can go in with him.
This is a very dangerous situation. Jeremy has 34 years' experience working with animals and has developed a unique relationship with them. But going in with youngsters is very different from being face-to-face with an adult male chimp. So far, Jimmy has been placid, but this could change at any moment. No one knows if he's in pain. If he is, he could get agitated. And he's been known to be aggressive in the past. But as there's still a chance that he could lose his leg, Jeremy will do all he can to help. And to do that, he has to get closer. Armed with goodies, Jeremy's confident that opening the door fully is the right thing to do.
You're not having all, no, you're not having all of it. No. Right, open it all the way.
But it's been a long time since the two have been in together, and Jeremy is nervous.
We've got banana. There's a banana. How's your leg? Eh? Come on. Now, I have not been in with him for probably 17 years or so. So, but, you know, this isn't... I just haven't opened the door and walked in. This is something I've been building up to for I have. Look, I know what I'm talking about. Oh, you're not going to help me, are you? No, because we're mates, aren't we? Are we mates? Yes, you're supposed to say... You didn't do the right thing then, did you? Don't put my hand in your mouth. I don't play that game. No, this is all mine. This is all my stuff in here. You're not having any. No, it's all mine. It's all mine.
Although Jeremy isn't completely inside the room, standing in the doorway is every bit as dangerous. But he stays focused on getting the swab he needs.
he's on loads of antibiotics, but maybe he's not on the right antibiotic at the moment, so we need to get a sample so the laboratory can identify what we're dealing with and prescribe the right antibiotic for it. So that's my mission today, assuming Jimmy's playing ball. He's getting a little bit, so, I mean, he doesn't want people messing with his leg, obviously, but he's getting a little bit more, even more sensitive. No, excuse me, you're going back in there. No, you're not coming in here. No, you stay there. I'm here, you're there, OK? Yes. No, it's no good doing that. That's the last bit of that. Can I just have this one stab of your leg? Just a little stab. Just a little stab. Go on, let me stab it. Go on, just a stab. Go, give me your leg. Give me your leg. Give me your leg. I'm going to stab it. Hey, what? Can I just put that in your leg? No, you mustn't touch it. No, Jake, no, get out. Get back in there. Go on. No, come on, give me your leg. Give me your leg. No, this is Jeremy land. See that line there? Don't go past it, all right? This is my patch. Come here. Come on.
Jimmy knows what Jeremy is after and starts playing up.
Don't get all sensitive on me. He knows I want that swab, so he's not playing.
Later,
Yes. Hello.
will Jeremy get the swab he needs from Jimmy's leg?
Jimmy, don't blame me if your leg falls off.
And Eddie still may be the youngest of the group, but it's time for her to take the next step into adulthood.
She's 6.5 years of age now, so it's been agreed that we'll put her on the pill as we did with Hebe when Hebe was 6.
At Monkey World in Dorset, animal manager Jeremy is on a mission to get a swab from chimpanzee
Go
Jimmy.
on, let me stab it. Go on, just a stab. Go, give me your leg. Give me your leg. Give me your leg.
Jimmy has an ulcerated leg wound and doesn't want anyone touching it. He's on medication, but the infection could be growing. The team need a swab to find out.
He knows I want that swab, so he's not playing. Jimmy.
The adult male was happy to hang out with Jeremy by the doorway, but now he's moved into another room.
Jimmy.
And not even treats are tempting him back in.
What's this? This? Hello? You tart. Come over here. Jimmy. I can see you. I'll do a little pyramid with them. Jimmy. I'm looking. Don't blame me if your leg falls off. I'm trying to help.
Frustrated, Jeremy opts for a bit of chimp speak. Which seems to perk up Jimmy's interest.
That's easy for you to say. Isn't it? Is that your final word on the matter? Or do you want time to think? And phone a friend or something like that? Well, I don't blame him. You know, a nasty wound like that, somebody jabbing a swab into it isn't very pleasant, is it? No. Oh, well, you just want to play silly games now, don't you? You just want to play silly games just because you're a silly, silly boy. Yes, you are.
Jimmy's now distracted by his favourite yoghurt.
God, I'm good. It's all a learning curve. I mean, he was as nervous as I was to start with, but now it's... We're getting more relaxed together, but equally I mustn't let him be in charge. Otherwise it's, you know, you mustn't let it get too familiar. Otherwise it'll end in tears, and they'll probably be mine. They'll definitely be mine. You want to play rough games, and then when you get rough, you'll soon realise that I'm a little wimp. I'm not nearly as strong as you. You are ready to on that slide to close it quickly if needs be.
Jeremy's mission has gone well, but a reminder of Jimmy's size and strength is never far away.
I'm not going to be in here for much longer because you want to come through here now, don't you? And I don't want you through here with me. So if I give you that Coke in there and then Lee closes the door, then that'll be good. Won't it? No. There we go. Well, Lee, close the door. There you go.
It'll be a few days before the results of the swab come back. Then the team will know if the wound can heal and if Jimmy will keep his leg. Later, there's planning to be done as young chimp Eddie fast approaches adulthood.
What we don't want to happen is at her age, such a young age, is have her get pregnant.
Today, the nursery orangutans are getting a real treat: papaya. First to spot the fruit is newcomer Linga. She's only been at the park for a few weeks, but she's already one of the gang. In the wild, fruit is a large part of the orang's diet, and papaya is high in vitamin C and a good source of fibre. But it's also high in sugar, which affects these apes just like it does humans, especially Hsiao-Ning. With fruit placed around the enclosure, all of the orangs should get a chance to try some, but the little ones are gonna have to be quick. Hsiao-Ning finds some in her favourite spot. And May can't shake off Jolie quick enough. May is usually a mother figure to the youngsters, but today the papaya is more important. In the wild, fruiting trees bring mothers and their young together. When food is plentiful, it gives them a chance to spend time together and bond. But at the park, Hsiao-Ning's not wasting any time with pleasantries. She's even prepared to swipe a piece off her sister, getting away with the big bit and leaving her sister with the rind. It looks like Hsiao-Ning's experiencing the beginnings of a sugar rush as she heads off to find more. Aris, on the other hand, is totally stuffed. And Dinda, who's finally got a piece to herself, is feeling very content. It's time to relax with her new best friend, Linga. While Hsiao-Ning acts as a reminder why too much sugar in the afternoon is not always a good thing for youngsters. Over in Paddy's chimp group, youngster Eddie is not so young anymore. She's losing her baby status and the privileges that come with it, much to her annoyance. Her family is already starting to treat her more like an adult. And the primate care staff are also having to adapt.
Eddie, come on. Come and get this, come on. It's a big day today. Eddie, she's just, she's 6.5 years of age now. She started having small little swellings, so it's been agreed with the team leader, Alison, and the vet, that we'll put her on the pill as we did with Hebe when Hebe was 6.
When a female is in season, the skin around her rump swells pink and acts as a visible signal to the male chimps that she's ready to mate. Monkey World likes to have room for other primates that need rescuing, so usually operates a non-breeding policy. So now they're going to have to exercise caution as Eddie is nearing the crucial age of reproduction.
It's usually round about the age of 8 or 10, they can start to come into reproductive and start having babies. She's only 6.5, We've started the pill now because she's getting swellings, but what we don't want to happen is that, say, in another year's time when she's 7.5, where she could get pregnant, is at her age, at such a young age, is have her get pregnant.
The female chimps used to have contraceptive coils inserted into the uterus, but sometimes the body would reject them, meaning the chimps were not protected against pregnancy.
That's why, you know, little Eddie's here now through mishaps on the contraception.
So, Monkey World is now using the human contraceptive pill on chimpanzees.
Because obviously there's no medical background on tests with chimpanzees, and so far it has proved to have worked really well.
But just as with human females, taking the contraceptive pill is not always straightforward.
If any of the females become ill and we need to treat with antibiotics, we need to keep a very close eye on those females because antibiotics can have a reverse effect on the contraceptive pill.
Eddie will now take her pill every day at the same time, with a drink of her favourite juice.
Good girl.
Next time, chimpanzee Bryan gets a painful lesson when he goes outdoors for the first time.
Obviously, he's got to learn the electric fence. Good boy.
Woolly monkey Julio also takes his first steps outside. And in Paddy's chimp group, Lee gets hands-on with Susie. Is she pregnant for the second time? This is Monkey World in Dorset, the largest ape and monkey rescue centre on the planet. Today on Monkey Life. Tough love. Chimpanzee Bryan learns a painful lesson when he goes outside for the first time.
Lee, we take it off. Obviously, he's got to learn the electric fence. Touch that again, will you?
Will woolly monkey Julio be brave enough to take his first steps outdoors? And in Paddy's chimp group, Lee gets hands-on with Susie. Could she be pregnant for the second time?
Fingers crossed, we're not wrong.
Monkey World is home to over 160 apes and monkeys. To make sure that the animals are healthy, the staff must get close to them. But with wild animals like these, this can be dangerous.
You be careful, my son.
Mike and Leanne Bates from San Diego Zoo in California have been teaching the primate care staff a technique that makes everybody's lives much easier.
Susie, come on.
Put simply, the primates are rewarded for doing what the keepers ask. They call it operant conditioning.
Come on, Suze. Push it right up. No, no. Good girl.
It's thanks to this training that headkeeper Lee can get so close to Susie.
Good girl, Suze. Good girl.
Keeper Hannah is using the same technique with the woolly monkeys.
Hand. Good girl, Paquita.
Paquita is being asked to give Hannah her hand. When she puts her hand through the bars, Hannah uses a clicker to signal that she's done the right thing. Paquita knows that when she hears the clicker, she will be rewarded with a treat. No clicker, no treat. A good incentive to do what Hannah wants.
Hand. Good girl.
So Hannah is training these animals to stop individually between the two slides where we can accomplish more of the management behaviors that we need to examine the animals, draw blood, give injections. With these guys, we measure blood pressure in the tail with a cuff.
Good girl.
This technique is great for health checks and medical procedures, but staff can also use it to train animals to go into travelling boxes without needing an anaesthetic.
Well, right now we're working with the keepers toward achieving something that's not unusual for the lemurs to experience, which is being in a crate. So we're allowing them to go into the crates on their own accord, be rewarded for going in there and actually tolerating the door being closed behind them, and carried around for as long as it takes to get them where they need to be taken. It's taking a negative situation, typically being boxed in the crate, making it into a positive experience so that something that happens on a regular basis during the year isn't such a negative experience for them. His foot's still sticking out. There you go.
Good boy, Julio.
The primates are never forced to participate. If they don't want to take part, they don't have to.
It's stimulating for these animals. They're intelligent, they need mental stimulation as well as nutrition. So it's important for their enrichment, if you will. And we avoid having to do more invasive work like capturing them, restraining them with a net, or even sedating them. So the animals are benefiting in just about every way you can think of.
Lena, tail? Tail? Oh, good girl, Lena.
Later, animal manager Jeremy has his hands full when he tries to check chimp Bryan's new teeth.
The thing I was going to say, before Bryan interrupted me, was...
And young orangutan Kai proves he has a head for heights. Over in Paddy's chimp group, it's time for their treat of the day, Kongs. Kongs are dog toys filled with hidden treats. These have been stuffed with carrots, apples and parsnips. It's going to be a challenge for the chimps to get the food out of the Kongs. As usual, boss Paddy has grabbed as many as he can. Now all he's got to do is work out how he can get to the tasty bits. And Paddy's not too smart. Maybe he should take some tips from clever Gamba. He's making the perfect sized tool to get to the food. Paddy is clearly intrigued by Gamba, but surely there's a way that doesn't involve so much brain power. Meanwhile, baby of the bunch, Eddie, is up to her usual tricks, scrounging. But life for Eddie is changing, fast. She's growing up, and she's not finding it so easy to get her own way anymore. Beth doesn't want to share, and Eddie's pouting lips mean she's on the verge of a temper tantrum. This is the point where Mum, Susie, used to rush to her daughter's side. But Eddie's 6 years old now. It's time for her to fend for herself. Sure enough, Eddie blows her top, and Beth just lets her get on with it. She's still not going to give in. Eddie's used to getting her own way, and this is new territory for her. Beth is determined to hold on to her Kong for as long as she can. Which is just about the time it takes for Mum, Susie, to show up. She doesn't get involved, but her presence and Eddie's persistence is at last enough to let Eddie get her own way. But Beth's not stupid. Eddie's welcome to the Kong. It's empty. Meanwhile, inside the chimp enclosure, headkeeper Lee is using the clicker technique to work with some of the chimps.
Good girl. Give me this hand. Thank you very much. Good girl.
The primate care staff practice this technique on a daily basis, and today, Lee is using it to feel Susie's stomach. He thinks she's pregnant.
What we've noticed is obviously Susie's got a lot larger. Her belly's got bigger. Her actual nipples have actually changed size again and are becoming more elongated and larger, which is also another sign. And obviously what you need to do is put one hand one side and actually push. And what you're looking for is that generally if there is a baby there, you'll push, and you can only push so far because it'll go hard. And that's what we're actually feeling at the moment. So fingers crossed, we're not wrong.
In the past, the primate care staff used to use human pregnancy tests, but getting a chimp to pee on cue isn't easy.
Hey, Kathy, think dripping taps and cold mountain streams and big waterfalls.
Introducing the clicker training has made things much easier, and it means Lee can keep a very close eye on Susie.
Without the operant conditioning, we would not have this opportunity to, to check her every day, and we would just have to hope everything was going okay and hope that, yes, she isn't, or no, she isn't pregnant, so...
If Susie is pregnant, this'll be her second baby. Her firstborn, Eddie, is now 6 years old and not a baby anymore. It'll be interesting to see how she copes with a new brother or sister.
That's going to be one thing, we're all going to learn here at the park, is how is Eddie going to react when Mum gives birth to another baby? So it's going to be a learning curve for her, as well as Mum, because Mum's going to have to now put a bit of pressure on Eddie to actually say, well, no, you're not the main focus here anymore.
Over in the chimp nursery, animal manager Jeremy is having a physical workout with 3-year-old Bryan.
That's all he ever wants to do is fight. He doesn't do any other playing at all. Get out of it. Stop it.
Jeremy hasn't just come in for a fight, he actually needs to check Bryan's teeth.
Are you going to let me see your teeth?
It's been a few weeks since Bryan had an operation to remove a rotten tooth.
Now, this is going to be very carefully done. You're going to show everybody how your teeth are growing. You've got that great big tombstone in the bottom there.
But baring his teeth is the last thing on Bryan's mind.
Go. Oh, no. Oh, oh, oh. Stop it. Stop it. That's not funny.
Before coming to Monkey World, boisterous Bryan lived in Mexico, where he was being trained as a beach photographer's prop.
Good boy, Bryan. Good boy.
Whilst there, he had all but 4 of his teeth forcibly removed to stop him biting tourists. Once at the park, wildlife vet John Lewis was called in to see how much damage had been done to Bryan's mouth. He discovered a rotten permanent tooth, which had to be removed, and he was worried that more of his adult teeth would be damaged. Luckily, this doesn't seem to be the case.
So John obviously did a good job there, and we took an X-ray and took out all the debris, and now there's no reason why his permanent teeth shouldn't come through normally, which they appear to be doing. And I'm just defending myself from them as we speak.
Bryan is the perfect example of why chimps do not make good pets and need to be with their own kind, where rough and tumble is all part of life. At 3 years old, he already has the strength of the average adult human male, and he's definitely putting Jeremy through his paces.
Oh, can I come out now? I've had enough.
Round 1 to Bryan. But coming up, Bryan's not so cocky when he heads outdoors for the first time.
Oh, without getting too much. Oh, yes, I love you too.
And is woolly monkey Julio brave enough to take his first steps outside? Monkey World in Dorset is home to 10 woolly monkeys. The youngest is 18-month-old Julio. He's been living with his woolly family for more than 6 months now and is comfortable with his inside space. But today, it's a big day for Julio. It's time for him to go outside for the first time. Julio's normally a confident monkey, but the large outside area is a bit scary. The animals at Monkey World are allowed to develop at their own pace, so if Julio isn't quite brave enough right now, there's no rush. The rest of the group are out and about enjoying one of their native fruits, tamarillos. Woolly monkeys have very particular nutritional needs, and tamarillos are perfect for them as they're low in sugar and help boost their immune system. It's the first time the group have tried this fruit, and they seem to be enjoying them. By placing them high in the enclosure, the keepers ensure that the woolies hunt for their food as much as they would do in the wild. Woolly monkeys have a prehensile tail, which acts as a fifth limb. It's adapted for seizing and grasping, and it's strong enough to hold their entire body weight. Julio's still wary of the large outside space, but the hanging fruit is tempting him. In the wild, babies move around on their mothers and get guidance on what to eat. But as Julio was hand-reared, he has to learn for himself. And Julio is learning fast. He's finally been brave enough to get his own tamarillo. But he's not quite brave enough to eat it outside, so he heads back to the safety of his indoor enclosure. The outside encounter may have been brief, but it's a massive step forward for him. And it's not just Julio whose development is progressing. Next door in the chimp nursery, 3-year-old Bryan is about to have his first outdoor experience.
I am getting too old for all this, you know. It's official.
Bryan really needs somewhere to burn off his excess energy, and the outside area of the chimp nursery is the perfect space, with a helping hand from animal manager Jeremy.
Hello, young man. Come on. Who's that? Shall we have a look round? What do you reckon? There's Andy. You know Sal. There's Lulu.
Bryan's definitely lacking in confidence when it comes to being outdoors. It's a big thing for him to take in. To help Bryan feel more comfortable, only dominant female Sally and Lulu are outside.
This is much better because it's controlled. You see, now he can have a look round in a nice, comfortable situation. And, you know, he can get an idea of everything. Right, you know, he's obviously calmer while I'm holding him. So he can get an idea of the whole situation without getting too wet. Oh, yes, I love you too. He's a good boy. Here you go, Sal. Sal, look, he wants to say hi. Hello. There you go. I'm with you. Yeah, don't worry, this is good. This is good. Because he's nervous, and that's good because then he isn't going to get independent. There you go, Lulu. Hello, sweetheart. There, you can touch her. You can touch.
Bryan is just starting to explore his surroundings.
This is not good.
But later, the 3-year-old learns a harsh but important lesson when he encounters the electric fence.
Me, we turn it off.
Luckily, dominant female Sally is on hand to comfort him. At the other side of the park, 2-year-old orangutan Kai is out and about showing off. Kai is totally at ease with his surroundings, even way up on the high ropes. Kai's mum, Xiao is now happy to let her confident toddler explore by himself. As far as Kai's concerned, he's all grown up. Having mum around just cramps his style. Last year, Kai wasn't quite so steady on his feet. He was grateful to have mum around then, and she was happy to be right by his side whenever he needed her. But that was then. And this is now. Kai's happy to soak up attention from whomever he can in the group, and he makes sure he gets his fair share of attention. Luckily for Kai, it seems he's just too cute to resist. And his sweet nature actually gives the older females in the group a vital lesson. Orangutans don't always appear to have natural mothering instincts. They learn how to be good mothers from their own mothers. Xiao-Lan and the other rescued female orangs were stolen from their mums at a young age, so nobody knows if they'll look after their own babies. Maybe Kai will give them the practice they need. Amazingly, he even works his charms on grumpy Amy. She doesn't do babies and prefers spending time in her own company. But it certainly looks like she's enjoying playtime with little Kai. But Kai's a typical kid, and it's not long before he gets bored of playing. Exploring is much more fun. And now he's got his head for heights, the higher the better. Back in the chimp nursery, Bryan is beginning to feel more comfortable with the outside space. For the animal's safety, the enclosures are fitted with an electric fence. This prevents the primates from climbing out and harming themselves or anyone else.
I'm just testing the fence here. Obviously, he's got to learn the electric fence, and I've got the voltage really low because I don't want to hurt him. But he was just touching it a couple of minutes ago, and I'm just checking that it is working. But it is, it's working fine. He's obviously well hard. No, don't touch that while you're on me.
But it is vital that Bryan learns not to touch the electric fence, even if he has to learn the hard way.
Now, come here. Come here. Now, come here. Don't touch it. Come here. We didn't off. That's good.
This may seem harsh, but it's the only way Bryan will learn.
Good girl, Sally. Come here. Come on. Good boy. There we go. He's learnt now. Touch that again, will you? Hey, good boy. Good boy. He's learnt the electric fence, and he might have to learn it again yet. Some of them have to learn it twice. It knocks him back. It takes the wind out of his sail. You know, he's not quite so cocky now. So, and that's normal. You know, it's bound to happen. He'll get over it.
Chimpanzees are very resilient, but just to make sure Bryan is okay, Jeremy will go outside with him a few more times. Bryan's intelligent and lively indoors, so he'll soon be just as confident outdoors. Next time, baby orangutan Dinda gets to grips with her outside enclosure.
Good girl.
While stump-tailed macaque Coco has difficulty with hers. And woolly monkey Kuna has her second baby. But a tough decision has to be made.
Whenever Kuna moves around, the baby's legs and tail are hanging.
With the past history of the animal, I'd do it. I'd go for it now and take the baby.
This is Monkey World in Dorset, the largest ape and monkey rescue centre on the planet. Today on Monkey Life, there's a new baby in the woolly monkey house, but the team are worried for its safety.
If it starts going limp or lolling, we need to make a decision whether or not we take it.
Yeah. Yep.
Baby orangutan Dinda gets to grips with her outside enclosure, and stump-tailed macaque Coco struggles with hers. Monkey World Ape Rescue Centre is home to over 160 primates, most of which are subject to their non-breeding policy. But orangutans, golden-cheeked gibbons, and woolly monkeys are all highly endangered and are allowed to breed. Every new baby is crucial. It's morning at Monkey World, and in the woolly monkey house, there's a new arrival. Overnight, 12-year-old Kuna has given birth. Keeper Mike was the first to see mum and baby.
So how long since you've been looking at the baby?
It's 3/4 of an hour now.
Do you have any indication of when it was actually born?
I would think it was probably late last night rather than early this morning. The baby looks quite well dry and nice and
Fluffy,
clean.
yeah. Any suckling?
Not that we've seen yet.
Okay, and no indication on her nipples that there's the hair's
Can't
been...
even see anything there because she's got the baby in the correct position with the head right up on her chest.
Last year, Kuna gave birth to Julio, but when the keepers found them, all was not well. Monkey World caught on camera the moment the baby was being held by its dad.
Hands know whether she wants the baby or not, and in the end...
And despite everyone's best efforts, Kuna rejected her baby.
Hey! Get in there, get in, hey! Grab the monkey, grab the monkey, grab the monkey. Down the girl.
There was no other choice. Julio had to be hand-reared. This time around, the team are observing Kuna closely to check that she is holding the new baby correctly and that it is feeding. It's a tense time.
Oh, it's a nightmare, isn't it?
No, it's great.
No, yeah, but it's just this sort of worrying, is she going to feed it, is she not? And it's so difficult
It
to
is what
see.
it is, so I would propose that exactly 24 hours from now we reassess, assuming that she's still looking after it properly. We do need to keep a close eye that it doesn't start, if it starts going limp or lolling, we also need to make a decision then and whether or not we take it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
But later, the team is taking no chances.
At this point, you know, it's now late afternoon, and we need to decide whether the baby's coming away from Kuna.
Maybe she's never going to be a good mum.
And over in Hananya's group, leading ladies Cherry and Peggy better watch out. New girl Johnny is after their position at the top. On the other side of the park, animal manager Jeremy is taking an unusual route into the orangutan nursery.
Hang on.
9-month-old Dinda has been living full-time in the nursery for 2 weeks now. The primate care staff have brought her outside several times, but today, Jeremy is showing her how to get there on her own.
That's how you do it. You know, a couple of times of doing this, and then if she chooses to stay inside still after that, then that's her choice.
The orangutan creche helps orphaned orangs settle amongst their own kind. Dinda was born at the park, but rejected by her mum. She was hand-reared, but had contact with the orangs in the nursery from day one.
It all depends on how you hand-rear them as to how they develop. I mean, I know people have a problem with it, but children are what you make them. And if you let them get on with exploring and discovering things, then they're going to progress a lot quicker than a baby that's very cosseted.
Hsiao-Ning is now 4 years old. When she was a baby, there was no creche at the park, so she spent more time with keeper Mike and the rest of the primate care staff.
Hsiao-Ning here, because we didn't have anywhere for her to go with other orangs like we've got now with Dinda, she was much slower in her development. It's not, I mean, she soon caught up, as you can see. But Dinda, we were lucky that we've created the nursery since then. So Dinda's been part of the whole orang social scene from a very early age. Therefore, it's going to become more natural to her.
The outside enclosure is designed to help the babies learn to climb. Dinda is confident enough around her housemates to explore on her own, but strictly at ground level. She's got a big challenge in front of her.
Oh, you climb on there. It's all right, you climb on there. That's good. It's all right, I'm still here. That's all right. God, what do you like, eh? I'm an orang with vertigo. Terrible.
Orangutans are the largest tree-living mammal in the world, and they have a remarkable ability to swing through the treetops. As orangs spend the majority of their day living up high, Dinda best develop her head for heights.
You big wuss. If you were an orangutan, this net is a very attractive thing to climb on, so hopefully she'll get over this vertigo thing she's got. Goodness me, it's so attractive, that net. No, it isn't, she says.
But Jeremy's got one more trick up his sleeve. Show Dinda how it's done. This is bound to work, isn't it?
Right. If this doesn't work, I'm going to give in. Right, now just go and play. I'm not holding you. You're not holding me. Nah, I think little girl's getting tired now, so I think we'll call this soon. She's nodding off. So now I've got to make the decision, do I stay here and have a kip with her, or do I come down and do some work? Could somebody call the fire brigade for me, because I'm stuck? Help!
Back with the woolly monkeys, new mum Kuna is still holding on to her baby, which is good news, but no one has seen it feed yet. Kuna rejected her last baby, Julio. Thanks to Alison and Mike, he became only the second woolly monkey in the world to survive being hand-reared.
You feel happier now, do you? I can hear you snuffling in the ear.
The team haven't decided whether or not they should take this baby away to be hand-reared, but they want to be prepared.
So we're getting ready for all eventualities. Everything that I used and Mike used with Julio, we've boxed up and we've got here. So now we just need to make best plan, because I think at this point, you know, it's now late afternoon and we need to decide whether the baby's coming away from Kuna. What do you think?
Oh, God.
That says it all.
I think, knowing her past record with the other one, I think we ought to probably err and be a bit cautious and take it away. Maybe she's never going to be a good mum. You know, some primates just will never entertain the idea of having a baby and holding it even. It's just this crucial thing of trying to find the baby to suckle. And the nipples are so far under the armpit, it's covered in hair. It's like even a mother that rears a baby, you don't hardly ever see it suckling. There's so many things to... So rather than have another disaster, you know, hopefully if we take it, you know, as Alison did with little Julio, you know, we can make this one survive. And Julio's gone back in that group. I mean, he's a total little sweetheart.
Kuna's doing much better than she did with Julio, and the park really want her to bring up the baby. But if it's not feeding, the team can't take any chances. They're going to have to make their decision soon.
It's a huge lottery, isn't it? It's not, we were just talking going up the road. This is just such an awful thing to have to decide.
Coming up, decision time. Will the team take drastic measures with the new woolly monkey baby?
If this was a first-time baby, you'd think maybe give it the benefit of the doubt. With the past history of the animal, I'd do it. I'd go for it now and take the baby.
And Johnny shows just how ambitious a chimp can be when she starts making a play for top man, Hananya.
So he obviously thinks that she's going to be somebody significant, and I'm sure she agrees.
At Monkey World in Dorset, the park's 11 woolly monkeys are part of the European Endangered Species breeding programme. In the early hours of the morning, 12-year-old Kuna gave birth to her second baby. The team have been watching them closely. But the infant hasn't suckled and Mum isn't holding the baby properly. If the baby doesn't feed, it'll become weak and dehydrated, and this could prove fatal.
It's now the end of the first day, and baby hasn't suckled yet, that's for sure. So that's not good. But more concerning to us right now, actually, is the fact that whenever Kuna moves around, the baby's legs and tail are hanging. So she's supporting it behind the back of the neck and at maybe the top of the back. But the rest, you know, the baby's holding on with its hands, but it's not holding tight with its legs and tail, which it should be. It really doesn't look too good. I mean, it just really is the most terrible thing in the world. I really don't want to take it from her because she's trying. But the baby's not thriving. There is no obvious answer for this. We need to make a team decision on this, and everybody really does need to have a bit of an opinion. I don't like watching her fly around with it. It looks downright almost dangerous for the baby when she's moving quickly.
The rest of the primate care staff come to observe Kuna and her infant before making the final decision.
The legs and the tail still aren't tight. It doesn't appear to be improving per se. We can leave it until tomorrow morning, but
if this was a first-time baby, you'd think maybe give it the benefit of the doubt. With the past history of the animal, I'd do it. I'd go for it now and take the baby.
Yeah, me too, actually. Ooh, that's really hanging. Okay, that last image did it for me, I think, unless anybody has any other opinion. So. The baby's hanging limp from its back end. Yeah? You guys happy with that? Yeah?
I think so, yeah.
Okay,
certainly.
Let's do the deed.
Kuna is going to have to be sedated. Animal manager Jeremy uses a blowpipe to administer the anaesthetic. The newborn has been taken away, and it's another boy for Kuna. The priority now is to keep it warm and hydrated. It's not fed for up to 20 hours. Later, it's touch and go. Can the team get fluids into the baby woolly monkey in time?
Very slow. The nutrition is not the issue, it's the dehydration that when you're this size that's the big worry.
And female stump-tailed macaque Coco also clings on for dear life. Over in Hananya's chimp group, newcomer Johnny is busy proving that behind every good man, there's an even better woman. Johnny came to the troop from the chimp nursery only 4 months ago, but she was quick to grasp the complex hierarchy of the group. She settled in quickly, but she has a higher aim in mind than simply being popular with her peers. It seems likely that one day, Johnny will be one of the dominant ladies in the group.
I do think Johnny's going to be a very high-ranking female. Hananya seems to be very keen on Johnny. He spends a lot of time grooming her. So he obviously thinks that she's going to be somebody significant, and I'm sure she agrees.
For now, the position is already taken. Cherry and Peggy are the dominant females. This is made clear from the amount of attention they receive from the rest of the group. Grooming isn't just a way of relaxing and bonding, it's also how the chimpanzees establish their hierarchy. The more important you are, the more pampering you receive, and Cherry and Peggy get more than their fair share. Establishing the dominant females in the group is vital, because they are, after all, the powers behind the throne. 3 years ago, when the transfer of power in the troop shifted from Rodney to Hananya, the high-ranking females gave Hananya their seal of approval by grooming him from head to toe. Without the support of the ladies, none of the boys become the alpha male of the group. So being a high-ranking female is an important and much sought-after job. It's extremely unusual for a chimp to enter a group from the nursery and have the effect that Johnny's having on Hananya's group. At 8 years old, she has become a big female, confident with both dominant males and females in the group. And she's very much the boys' centre of attention at the moment. But Johnny's no fool. She's made the right friends, but she's focused on a much bigger prize, the boss man himself, Hananya. It certainly looks like Johnny's going places. Over in the stump-tailed macaque house, new girl Coco heads outdoors every day. She's very cautious, but she seems to be getting fitter.
Now, her movement's improved a lot since she got here. She still struggles with round objects, especially on moist days like today, where she will slip off poles and things. She has improved. If she loses her balance slightly, she can normally regain it, as long as the poles aren't actually slippy.
When Coco arrived at the park, she was overweight and unfit. The park put her on a diet and began to work at making her more active and healthy.
Now, she actually lost a third of her weight in the first 6 months she was here, and she's still losing weight.
She is 11 kilos.
The park encourages the primates to live together as naturally as possible. Now Coco is healthier, the staff have stopped going in to weigh her or handle her. Coco now lives with the geriatric boys, Roland and Gerald. Their enclosure is designed differently to the boys next door because of their mobility problems, and even these designs present challenges. Coco shakes off the fall and stays determined. After 2 slips, Coco works out a better way to get where she wants to go.
Oh, she's very stubborn. She slipped down the first pole, so she then chose another path round. So she's got the intelligence to do that and the mobility to do that now. She's doing incredibly well today. She's right round at a point that we haven't had her before. If she wants to do something, she'll do it. If there's anything in her way, she'll generally push it out the way unless she can't. And then she'll keep going until she gets bored, and then she'll find an alternative route.
Coco's rehabilitation is going very well, and life for her has certainly improved. It's the end of the day, and over in the office, Kuna's new baby boy has been safely removed. Kuna wasn't holding him properly, and he wasn't feeding, so the team had to take action.
Yep, he's already sort of making little suckling moves, so we'll need to get some fluid into him and weigh him. 410, 410, 410 grams.
The team didn't see the baby suckle throughout the day. Alison's worried that he's dehydrated.
If I pinch his skin on his arm, it stays peaked. You see that peak right there? That's an indicator. If you normally pinch your skin, if you're not dehydrated, it springs right back. The fact that it holds a peak at all means that he's dehydrated. So first order of business is just getting a bit of fluid into him and something that isn't gonna necessarily cause diarrhea. Now, the first time that he takes the milk, it might actually cause him a little bit of diarrhea because his stomach and his gut isn't used to it. Very slow. And so you just want to get the fluid into him before you start. The nutrition is not the issue, it's the dehydration that when you're this size that's the big worry.
18 months ago, Alison hand-reared the newborn's brother, Julio, and discovered baby woolly monkeys thrive on constant contact. She needs to do the same for the latest arrival.
Such a good boy. I know.
And as soon as I move away, even just from this distance, he wants to be right here looking at me and tucked up. And I believe that's why these don't thrive in an incubator. If you were to take him and set him down, all of that interest in moving around would just disappear and he would end up just laying in the incubator. So once again, we'll go through the deal of carrying him around just like his mum would.
Woolly monkey babies are extremely fragile and are notoriously difficult to hand-rear. So Alison has her work cut out if this little one is going to make it and become only the third to survive this treatment in the world. Next time, the new woolly monkey baby is 24 hours old, but his survival hangs in the balance.
It's still way too early to say whether or not, this little guy is gonna make it or not.
In the chimp nursery, young Bryan gets hassle from bully boy Seamus. And the team are concerned that chimp Charlie is being picked on. They need to decide if he can stay living with the bachelor group.
Charlie's always been a loner. I don't think he sees any point in chimpanzees whatsoever.
This is Monkey World in Dorset, the largest ape and monkey rescue centre on the planet. Today on Monkey Life. Just 24 hours old and life hangs in the balance for the new woolly monkey arrival.
It's still way too early to say whether or not, this little guy is gonna make it or not.
In the chimp nursery, young Bryan gets hassle from lovable hooligan Seamus. And chimp Charlie is being picked on. Are his days living with the bachelor group numbered?
Charlie's always been a loner. I don't think he sees any point in chimpanzees whatsoever.
Monkey World Ape Rescue Centre operates a non-breeding policy with most of its 15 species of primates, but the orangutans, golden cheek gibbons and woolly monkeys are all endangered species, and every new arrival is precious. Woolly monkey babies rarely survive in captivity. They're extremely difficult to keep healthy as they suffer from social stress and high blood pressure. But 5 healthy woolly babies have been born at the park, and yesterday marked the birth of the latest arrival. And he's being hand-reared by park director Alison.
It was a long night, but actually we did pretty well. I came home with the intention of having to feed him every single hour, but it became clear from the start that he didn't want to be fed every hour. So I backed off, and really we sort of went every 2 hours last night. And, we're just taking it easy and relaxing, and I think he's, slowly but surely getting hydrated again. He was a little bit dehydrated yesterday, and that's better now. Good boy.
Alison's an old hand at playing mum to woolly babies.
Yes, I know. Oh, yes, you're such a good boy.
18 months ago, she hand-reared Julio. He now lives with his woolly family and he's looking good. Hopefully, Alison can give this little one the same start in life.
There have been a few shocks and surprises along the way. You know, I've done Julio before, so I sort of knew what to expect. But this little guy, I mean, I guess it isn't surprising, is quite a bit different than Julio. To begin with, I mean, he was born not a third again more, but almost a third again more in weight. Julio was 313 grams. This little guy was 410 yesterday. I think he's a little more together and alert in terms of looking around and the eyes focusing. But the biggest and most shocking thing is that, you know, he's been a bit grizzly and he wasn't on for sort of taking feeds every hour. And so I sort of started checking him out, and at one point in time he did latch onto my finger, and what I found is that he's already cut his first 3 teeth. And he's got, if I can get his lips open there, you can see the 2 top teeth and the 2 top incisors poking through, and his canine tooth on the top left has also come through and is quite pointy and sharp. So this poor little guy, within the first 24 hours of his life, is already teething. Julio was day 11 for the teeth.
But even though he looks fit and healthy, this little woolly is not out of danger yet.
Within the first 24 hours, it's still way too early to say whether or not, you know, this little guy is gonna make it or not. I mean, he's cute as a button, and we're gonna do everything we can to ensure that, you know, like Julio, he gets the very best start in life. But it is very early days yet, you know, and really anything could happen. I'm feeding him with the dropper, and because of the teething thing, you know, it's not exactly a good eater at the moment. But, you know, he's getting there, but we still have to be very cautious about him inhaling any of the milks. Just 1 little drop of milk into his lungs, which aren't fully inflated and developed yet, would be bad, and he could get a lung infection. There's also any, you know, colds, flus, bacteria in the world. There was a little sneeze. But, you know, you can't panic about things. You have to sort of remain calm, not worry about necessarily sort of how much he's eating, just to make sure that he's not dehydrating, and let him lead the way.
Later, Alison's mothering duties become distinctly less glamorous.
Hey, we've had a huge pee. That's excellent news.
And stump-tailed macaque Jonathan's losing his hair. It's not a pretty sight. Living in the chimp bachelor pad is one of the park's most lovable characters, Charlie. Charlie's weathered face is a reminder of his upsetting past, which has left him looking much older than his 27 years. When he arrived at the park, he was a drug addict with cataracts, fractured feet, and a broken jaw. 18 years of rehabilitation saw him improve and enjoy life in the group. But Charlie is a placid chimp who doesn't like conflict, and recently he struggled with life as one of the boys. They don't share their food with him, and he finds playtime too rough. Food is Charlie's biggest passion, and today he's looking forward to being given an alternative treat: tree branches. As well as fruit, vegetables, and healthy snacks, leafy branches are a regular part of a chimpanzee's diet.
Come on, Charlie.
The group enjoy the branches, but Charlie's been left out again. He's finding it increasingly difficult to compete with the others. Charlie doesn't have a best friend. He moves in on Buxom to see if he will share, but Buxom can be aggressive. Over the last few months, Charlie has been getting more nervous around the big guys. He only has 3 teeth to protect him, and his position in the group hierarchy is sliding. But Charlie's love of food is stronger than his fear. While Buxom's polishing off the leaves as quickly as he can strip them from the branches, Charlie plucks up the courage to grab a few sneaky bits. It's good to see Charlie's finally getting a taste, and although it's not in a chimp's nature to share, Buxom tolerates Charlie, for now. Charlie's health and happiness are very important to the Monkey World team. They're beginning to wonder if the bachelor pad is the best place for him. The chimpanzee nursery is currently home to 8 chimps. The newest is 3-year-old Bryan. He's been living with the group for a few months and has only recently plucked up enough courage to go outside.
Can we have a look round? What do you reckon? There's Andy. You know Sal.
Foster mum, Sally, keeps a close eye on all the youngsters. She's a wonderful mother and Bryan follows her everywhere, but their closeness hasn't gone unnoticed. Lovable hooligan Seamus is jealous. After all, Sally's his adoptive mum too. And when Bryan strays too far from Sally, Seamus is waiting for him. Sally has always spoilt Seamus rotten. It's one of the reasons he's so naughty. But even she is getting tired of him right now. Little Bryan needs her more than Seamus does. Bryan is clearly wary of Seamus, but he's also smart and has worked out a way to avoid conflict with him. He knows if he stays near Sally, Seamus will leave him alone. Sally loves little boys, and once again, she's faultless in her mothering role with Bryan. She's happy to give him all the support he needs to settle into his new home. Still to come, the team has to make an important decision about Charlie's future.
Charlie's always been a loner. I don't think he sees any point in chimpanzees whatsoever.
And it's all too much for the new baby woolly monkey. Back with Alison and the woolly baby, it's time for the unglamorous side of motherhood.
Hey, we've had a huge pee. That's excellent news. Excellent news. I just need to see him sort of defecate and know that his guts are moving. I can see that he's starting to consider it. There's a little bit. A lot of the time with baby animals, you can actually encourage their bowels with a warm, damp cloth if you just touch it to their sort of backside, which is sort of a similar thing that his mother would be doing. She'd be lifting up his tail, checking out his backside, and cleaning him up a bit, which just encourages the gut action. And we got a little bit there, so that's a start, little man. There you go. Oh, it looks... And I think it's time for a break now. I think we're a bit tired. Oh, it's a tough day. Yeah.
This baby woolly's brother, Julio, was only the second woolly monkey in the world to survive being hand-reared. Alison's hopeful this little one will be the third.
Yeah, I think I am feeling quite comfortable and perhaps confident with this little one, because you know what to expect this time, and I know that he's not like a little China doll, and that he is quite robust, and that actually it's very good for me to move him around in a fairly rough way. I mean, it's funny, people sort of come in and see him for the first time, and when they touch him, they touch him like he was porcelain, or, like he might break and stuff, and really he's quite roughy-tufty, and keep in mind that he should be sort of clinging to his mum and holding on as she's flying around the enclosure. So, I mean, this tail is quite strong and can hold his weight. And right now he's gripping on strong with his hands. He can support himself. And really we want him to be doing a lot of that, because that is what will help encourage his appetite and also encourage his guts to move and get the feces moving through. Yeah, so it's all action stations.
Just like a human newborn baby, woolly monkey young need constant care and attention, and Alison's going to be providing it for the next 7 months before this little one will be ready to join his woolly monkey family.
Yeah, pretty much the first week or so, drinking, sleeping, and pooping, and that's about it. And really, you don't want anything more exciting than that. That's good for me right now.
Later, the stump-tailed macaque enclosure gets a makeover, but will it distract them long enough for Jonathan's hair to grow back? Over in the bachelor pad, there's concern for chimp Charlie. Recently, he's been struggling. The boys don't always share food with him, and their play can be too rough. To make matters worse, Charlie doesn't have a best friend within the group. So the team have come to a decision. He's to be separated off from the rest of the group for a short time every day, and animal manager Jeremy is going in to cheer him up.
2 things, really. I want to keep a very close eye on him so that nothing slips us by, or is less likely to slip us by. And 2, I need cheering up, and I want to go and play with Charlie. I mean, I'm not going to try and make something out of this that it isn't. It's my bit of time for me and Charlie. We're just going to go and hang out.
Jeremy's aim is to give Charlie a little extra food and attention every day. The other chimps are kept occupied with treats, so they don't notice his absence. If they did, they might pick on him when he returns. Jeremy has known Charlie for 19 years, and they share a close bond.
Hello, my man. Hang on a minute. Hold my hand. Good boy. Yes, it's good to see you too. Come on. Good boy. Come on.
But as happy as Charlie is to see Jeremy, he's clearly more excited by the goodies his old friend has brought him.
What? What, the bag? What we got today? Hey, what we got today? This is the tricky bit. Albert Einstein, eat your heart out. Every day, he will be separated at this time and get a treat of some description, so that the routine this time of the day will be carved in stone, that every day something nice will happen and he will be separated, and then the primate care staff can have a look at him and, you know, check him over and make sure he's okay. He does wonder why he can't just have all this food on a plate and just eat it. Well, we've got to go through this stupid ritual. As you can see, I might as well not be here at the moment, because we've got treasure. What we got today? Look, there's something in here. You're not. It's so silly. Look, there's stuff wrapped up in. What's that? What's in there?
Charlie's life revolves around food. But he arrived at the park with only 5 teeth, so eating has always been a challenge for him. Last year, he had to have another removed, but somehow, Charlie always gets by.
We've tried him on lots of things to try and get the emphasis off of food, but Charlie just doesn't care. If he's not got food, he's just not interested. Look at this toy. Yeah, OK. That's a piece of string. It's not a toy, you know. Whereas if he's got food, and so what the heck? He's special. Is that good? Hey? Is it good? What you got in there? Let's have a look. Let me see what you've got. You've eaten it all. It's all gone. What's that all about? What's in that one? There's another one there. See? We don't get to share it very much, do we? That was mine. But I do nick some.
There are 11 stump-tailed macaques at the park, living in 2 groups. They're affectionately nicknamed the Ugly Monkeys. Today, the boys' inside enclosure is having a makeover. It's being kitted out with large logs. The keepers want to distract the uglies from some behaviour which has been making them look even more ugly. Over-grooming.
A couple of years ago, Jonathan was looking really, really bald. Now, at that time, we put it down to over-grooming, because obviously these are ex-lab animals, so they've never had intimate contact or even any contact with each other apart from vocalisation, so they never learnt how to groom.
Grooming plays an important part in all primate societies. Low-ranking members want to be accepted by the high rankers and offer themselves to be groomed by everyone. But the Stumpies have been taking their grooming a little too far. The team have noticed that if the weather's too hot or cold, they stay inside and groom. And groom. And groom. And that's why Jonathan's going bald. Over-grooming isn't harmful, but the park does try to distract the group from doing it. Hopefully the logs will do the trick.
The reason we prefer the real trees as opposed to nice round poles is it gives them multiple levels to climb over. Instead of a nice smooth texture, they have to actually grip onto it, and this will build up their muscle tone, as well as giving them that bit more of entertainment.
Sam is first to investigate. But the rest of the uglies have got something more important in mind: breakfast. In the wild, Stumpies can venture up to 3 kilometres a day foraging for food, but these 8 prefer a slower pace of life. Primates, like most animals, love to eat, and new stuff in the enclosure can only mean one thing: food. These guys are on a diet, so it's important they're kept active. And these large branches are a perfect way to do this, as they're encouraging them to climb, which will improve their flexibility and muscle tone. The logs are bringing out the Stumpies' natural foraging behaviour. And, as an added bonus, it's saving the hair on Jonathan's back. Back with Charlie and animal manager Jeremy, it's playtime.
Charlie.
But the remnants of honey stuck on Charlie's nose are far too distracting.
Charlie, pick your nose. Hey, you gonna do that all day?
Charlie definitely enjoys a slow pace of life, but Jeremy wants him to have some fun.
Wait, stop it. Come here. Wait, come here. Charlie's always been a loner. I don't think he sees any point in chimpanzees whatsoever, to be honest with you. I mean, he's okay with them, and he'll hang out with them a bit, but he's not. You know, I don't think he's got much value for chimpanzees, to be honest with you. They're more of a nuisance to him than a value. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are we doing? I can't climb about like that.
The other bachelor chimps play too rough for Charlie.
I'm gonna jump on you in a minute.
Jeremy's much more gentle. He keeps Charlie happy and active.
You're not supposed to laugh when I'm beating you up. I'm gonna bite your ribs in a minute.
If Charlie continues to have problems in the group, the team would consider moving him.
You know, we've got 1 or 2 contingency plans and basic, you know, plans for the future. Maybe an old-timers group. You know, there's lots of options that we talk about. No, nothing specific, but it'd be nice to have a group for the old codgers. That'd be great fun. And I want to look after them. Grumpy old men together, you know. Poor old lad, aren't you? Eh?
Next time. The path of true love never did run smooth, not even for golden-cheeked gibbons.
We're going to give them the best option that we can by offering her another male and by offering him a lady who won't be quite so nasty to him.
Naughty Seamus is being nice to young Bryan for a change, but how long will it last? And there comes a point in every young orangutan's life when it's time to move on.
Aris can be a little bit boisterous with the youngsters sometimes, and he's growing up a little bit now, he's getting a bit older, so maybe it's time to be with the older guys.